Okay, so it seems like we have even more updates with VShojo. Now, this is very interesting because obviously we've been talking about over the past couple of days of a lot of members leaving, including Zentreya, who is a very long-term member, as well as other members such as Geega and Matara Khan. Now, speaking of long-term members, it seems like one of them has actually come back into the kind of fray. And recently we also talked about Hime Hajime, who also, people thought that she was going to leave and that she was going to exit due to like a tweet that they made. Obviously, they went and debunked that later on and said that, oh, I was just joking around, like this, I wasn't actually being serious. And obviously, people, kind of almost believed that due to the fact of how inactive she was. But obviously, I think one person that is way more inactive than Hime at the moment is obviously Froot. Now, Froot has been inactive ever since the kind of drama that happened a couple of months ago. It's in fact one of the first videos that I covered over on this channel, which was about the whole kind of Google Doc that went on. And essentially what happened was there was all these allegations that went out about obviously her ex partner doing some pretty horrible stuff to her, and there was all of this stuff that came out. And there's been so much drama surrounding Froot over the past couple of years as well, including obviously throwing Silvervale under the bus for the whole Hogwarts Legacy thing, if you guys remember that. Obviously people were not happy with Froot whenever she did that, and also there's been some other kind of cases as well of some other behavior which people didn't really like. But essentially, obviously, she has been away for a little while ever since that, obviously trying to deal with stuff kind of emotionally, which I think is totally fine if you want to take a break for that kind of stuff. And obviously, she said, aware, thank you for being patient with me. This was back on January 22nd. So we haven't really heard from her, officially since January. And well, it seems like on Reddit, someone actually posted first Froot post in many months. And this was today. So obviously, yeah, it's been almost 7 months since we last heard from her. And it seems like she is, not back, but obviously she is still trying to interact with her community a little bit over on her account on Froot IRL over on Instagram. Obviously, it's a picture of her holding Deku, like a little kind of plushie of that. So those Nagi Apex streams are doing great. Great job getting her back, keeping up the good work, Nagi. Which again, I think she's joining people on other streams. I mean, that's pretty good. Obviously, people saying first Annie streams and now a post from Froot. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Annie also came back from a kind of hiatus. Just to kind of explain her situation and stuff. Obviously, she doesn't know if she's going to be fully back. I did make a full video on that if you guys want to go see that. But again, it does seem like a lot of these older VTubers, at least in my mind, I'm not saying like they're old, but you get what I mean. They've been around for a little bit longer, are starting to come back a little bit. People saying, hope she's well. Maybe she assisted a con and get herself a souvenir. So someone a while back said Froot was at a con and complimented the Kuro cosplay. She's definitely lurking. Excited to see her the day that she returns. So yeah, it seems like she's just been kind of in the background doing her own thing and just kind of, chilling. And I think that is probably the best for her at the moment, as it seems like there was a lot of drama and a lot of kind of emotional distress that was going on, especially whenever all of this kind of stuff started coming out about her. And yeah, I mean, there was also like allegations as well of her like cheating on her partner too, the same partner who was doing all of this stuff to her. And I think that some people were okay with it, some people weren't. I don't really care what you think about it. I mean, it's just one of those things at the end of the day. And obviously people say Deku blinked twice, need help. That she's finally she's back. Finally, some good news for VShojo. Said slow down there, Cowpoke. She's made one post. Let's see if it's a pattern or not. Which yeah, definitely is true. I think a lot of people have jumped the gun here in terms of saying that she's fully back and she's always going to be here. That isn't exactly the case. Obviously, we had a post back in January, which was about 2 months after a lot of the stuff come back, and obviously people thought that she was coming back in January, but now it's been 7 months, and then we've gotten another post. So I think it is important that you do just like hold off and be like, she's fully back, and like it's insane. She's gonna make a debut any day now. We don't know what's going on with this situation. Obviously, she's just made a funny post over on Instagram, and maybe she plans to stay on the down low for even longer. Like it could be another 7 months, it could be another couple years, or it could be a couple weeks. We don't know. Obviously, it said what happened to Froot, why she's gone, said personal stuff. I wouldn't expect to hear a detailed explanation about it. It said, oh, okay, I stopped following along as much as after Nyan has left. Was hoping it wasn't due to trolls or anything. So honestly, that's probably a big part of it. And I do think that was a big part of Froot's kind of troubles where there was a lot of trolls and people hating on her for a lot of the stuff that had come out. And I think obviously that has kind of provided a pretty negative space for her, which is pretty terrible. And obviously, you know, I hope that, you know, a lot of this break has just helped her kind of distance herself from the internet and a lot of this kind of harassment that she has been facing, because she did face a lot of harassment. Even if you want to say that, you know, she did a lot of things wrong, I think she also did face a pretty big onslaught from the internet. And obviously, as I said, her last stream has actually been November 26th, which is a very, very long time ago. Obviously, viewers were pretty low then as well. So again, I don't really know. You know, obviously a lot of the stuff came out around about then, and then obviously that's when she stopped streaming, which obviously is pretty disappointing, as I think her content was actually pretty good. I mean, a lot of her songs were really good as well. I mean, I think I watched a Song Killer, was it cover? I think it was a cover. It was really, really cool. I really liked it. She said Froot, glad she's doing okay. The way she strangled her boy. So again, you know, people are very excited to see her come back, and obviously no one has really talked about the controversy apart from that one comment down there. So I think that is a good kind of sign to see that people have kind of moved on from this topic now, because I felt like it did kind of get dragged on a little bit too much. I think people kind of blew this up way more than it needed to be, and you know, obviously the whole like cheating stuff, obviously it is really terrible. If that did happen in the first place, obviously I think it was still allegations at the end of the day. If that did happen, it is terrible, but at the end of the day, it's not a crime, you know. I don't really care if someone goes out and cheats. Obviously, yes, you can decide not to support her, which I think is totally, you know, fair and okay. But obviously for me, I don't really care, obviously. And also in terms of just like mental state and things like that, I don't think it's fair to kind of wish someone to be in such a terrible state, or wish, you know, kind of any harm upon these people just due to the fact that they've done something bad. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter what you've done. I don't think it's a very fair opinion to have, to be like, oh, this person deserves to be, you know, mentally you know, in a bad place or whatever. No, I think, you know, obviously people have tried to do that, and that's probably one of the reasons why, you know, she took a break. And I think, yeah, it's super childish to kind of think that way, and I think that nobody should really do that to another person, no matter what they've done. So again, yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see if there's any other posts coming out from Froot, but I think it was very interesting with a lot of the VShojo people leaving and a lot of changes going on at VShojo of her posting this. And it's going to be interesting to see if she even stays at VShojo whenever she comes back, because, you know, we could have the case of where it's been quite a while and maybe they don't want to, you know, continue with her due to the fact that, you know, obviously she hasn't been very active at all, because she's still featured on the VShojo website and everything like that. She's still, you know, fully part of VShojo itself. She hasn't left or anything. So again, it's gonna be very interesting to see if they do stick with her, especially with the inactivity. And obviously, as I said, you know, lots of people were speculating might leave due to the fact of inactivity and due to the fact that, you know, obviously she's running other channels like Sid Snap, things like that. You know, that, you know, obviously is a totally valid opinion, but I think Froot is even worse for it whenever it comes to inactivity. And obviously it's not her fault or anything, but, you know, she is much more inactive than people like Hime. So, you know, if people are saying that she wants to leave, maybe, you know, Froot might actually, you know, think about leaving as well. We don't really know, but again, it'll have to be one of those things that will probably come out from VShojo at some point. But for now, that is just all of the information that we have on this, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys because it's very relevant to the whole VShojo situation and what has been going on recently. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go over to GameStop, use my code CASTER, get 10% off. Again, there are a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking out. Again, they got some new cans out at the moment. I don't know if they're still in stock at the moment, but I definitely recommend using the link down below and just giving a, you know, little browse of the website, because they do have some really, really cool stuff there. But yeah, that's what I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.